In a dimly lit room inside an occult museum sits a locked glass cabinet. A handwritten sign taped to the front gives visitors two strict instructions: do not touch it and do not mock it. Inside that case is a vintage rag doll. Yet, according to paranormal investigators, this single object is directly linked to a string of severe accidents, unexplained physical attacks, and a documented fatal encounter. The official case wonks record a sequence of events where a mass-produced toy bypassed physical laws, starting with movements that the owners initially struggled to explain. The timeline starts in the early 1970s. A nursing student named Donna lived in a small, standard apartment with her roommate, focused on her studies and a completely normal daily routine. For her birthday, Donna's mother bought her a gift. It was a mass-produced Raggedy Ann doll, a popular children's toy characterized by red yarn hair and a triangular nose. After a few days, Donna noticed minor discrepancies in the apartment. She would leave the doll sitting on the living room couch, but return from class to find it resting on her bed. Later, it began appearing in entirely different rooms. Donna and her roommate initially looked for a human explanation, double-locking the front door to see if a prankster was sneaking inside to move the doll while they were out. The physical movements soon became impossible to ignore. The roommates began finding the doll with its legs neatly crossed or its soft fabric arms raised in the air, positions the toy could not hold on its own. Then physical evidence appeared. They started finding small scraps of parchment paper scattered around the apartment, covered in messy, handwritten messages reading, "Help me." Neither Donna nor her roommate owned parchment paper. There was no logical source for the material in the apartment, and neither of them had written the notes. While a doll shifting on a couch could be misremembered, the sudden materialization of physical notes meant they were dealing with an active, intelligent entity attempting to force communication. The tension broke one evening when a friend of the roommates came over. While sitting in the living room, he heard distinct rustling noises coming from the bedroom where the doll was kept. He walked in to find the room empty, except for the doll sitting on a chair. As he approached, he noticed fresh, deep scratch marks gouged directly across its fabric chest. Moments later, the friend doubled over as a sharp, burning pain erupted across his torso. When he pulled up his shirt, several deep, bleeding claw marks had spontaneously appeared in his flesh. The entity had transitioned from moving objects to inflicting direct physical trauma, proving it could cross the threshold into active violence. Desperate for a solution, Donna contacted Ed and Lorraine Warren, a prominent husband and wife team of demonologists who arrived to assess the escalating danger. This diagram illustrates the Warrens' premise. Supernatural entities do not target inanimate objects. Instead, they seek a human host. Their diagnosis was that a demonic intelligence used the doll as a conduit. By appearing as a toy, the entity lowered the women's defenses. The Warrens concluded the demonic intelligence was using the doll's innocent appearance as camouflage, anchoring itself in the home while keeping its true nature hidden. Skeptics offer alternative explanations for these events, suggesting they are the result of sleep paralysis, suggestibility, and extreme psychological stress within the apartment. However, paranormal researchers often cite a later incident at the Warrens Occult Museum, where a visitor openly mocked the doll and banged aggressively on its glass enclosure. After being escorted out, that same visitor was involved in a fatal motorcycle crash just a few hours later. Whether that death was a supernatural curse or a tragic coincidence, the event solidified the artifact's reputation, creating a modern rule: the doll demands absolute respect. The authentic Raggedy Ann doll remains locked inside that exact glass case today. Investigators concluded the artifact was too dangerous to ever be released. We are left to decide if this worn piece of fabric is a vessel for a malicious entity or a product of intense human paranoia. The enduring power of the Annabelle story thrives right in that unprovable space between our rational minds and the fear of the unseen.